What's up guys, my name is Khan and we're back today with a game called GearBlocks. Now this game came out in early access a couple weeks ago and apparently there was a demo for it years ago, but the dev sent me a key and I checked it out and honestly this game is an amazing sandbox. So we're just going to jump right into it. Now this game does feature a few different things including scenarios as well as a full sandbox mode, but I decided to jump into the tutorial island right away. I've beaten the tutorial island, but I feel like it's a great way to get a look at some of the things this game has to offer. Simply because there's a lot of cool mechanical systems, and on my own in Sandbox, I don't think I have the necessary skills to really show them all off. For example, right off the bat, look at this. We've got a little bit of a gear going to a couple bevel gears, going to a worm gear, going to another gear, which then activates this giant gate mechanism. So we can just, we can hold R, rotate that, and look at that. Isn't that awesome? It's just amazing. Yeah, it's pretty cool. There's some wicked mechanisms. There's also complete ragdoll physics. So, we can just knock this guy over. Pretty sure we can even build this chair if we want to. Oh, he's missing a leg. That's sad. And, of course, we even have the ability to make automated things, like these robots that just... I don't know if they have any sensors. I think they just run into a wall and then spin their front wheels. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how they work. But either way, let's go check out some of the mechanisms this game has. So this is the magic room, and I mean, take a look at all this stuff. This is crazy. I could think of 18 million things to build with all these mechanisms. So right off the bat, we've got your sliders, which is, it is what it is. You can do some stuff with that. I haven't really thought about what to do with this yet, but it's kind of nice that you can constrain the part within the edge of that. And obviously we can attach this part to other parts and make a whole mechanical system. We've got knuckle joints, which is, just a standard knuckle joint, useful for making suspension, 4-bar mechanisms, stuff like that. Of course, we've got ball joints, which is super, super cool. I don't know if we can hitch and unhitch ball joints. I haven't really got around with that. Like, if we can make a trailer with a ball hitch on it or something. I'm not exactly sure how that works. But either way, still cool. And then, of course, you've got CV joints, constant velocity joints. You can see, look, this is already set up on a nice little, almost like a 4-bar mechanism. We could make an axle for a vehicle. Really, really good stuff. This is going to be the ultimate sandbox for building any sort of vehicle, transmission, suspension systems. Like, it's going to be awesome. And there is pretty much no lag. Like, we're in a world with all these mechanisms right now, and nothing's freaking out, which is just amazing. Of course, we've got pulleys, which, that's great. I love the fact that it actually works. We can use this to make all sorts of transmissions and, even like a variable clutch type thing. I don't know if we can do a variable pulley that changes size, but definitely going to be useful for gearing stuff up and down. Rack and pinion gears, obviously, for steering. Really, really useful. I don't know if this has a return to center. It doesn't. I don't know if we can set that or not. We might have to do some fancy stuff to get a return to center steering, but either way, pretty cool stuff. A differential gear, which is nice, built right into the system. Now, this is a completely open diff. You can see, right, the right side there, it's got the weight offset, so it's not rotating. All the power's going to the left. Again, I don't know if we can change the diff settings or not to make it stiffer. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, look at that, input smoothing. Okay, slip limit. Oh, my goodness, there is a slip limit strength. Are you serious? Oh, that's so great. Oh my god, this game's amazing. Are you serious? We can, look at that, look at that. We can just go into the diff settings and we can adjust how much strength is needed. 0 is an open diff. 10 is a completely closed diff, I'm assuming. Oh my goodness, that is so sick. Yeah, that is, oh boy, we can make a limited slip diff just like that. That's gonna be amazing. Oh my lord. Okay, well, yeah, I didn't even check that. Is there, hold on a minute. Rack and pinion, I don't know, oh wait, I don't know if I can adjust. The rack and pinion doesn't have properties, it's just 2 gears. Alright, we're gonna have to figure out how to do a return to center at some point. Of course, we got worm gears. Worm gears super useful for, stuff. High torque, environment things. I don't really know what we're gonna use a worm gear for, but it exists, super awesome. I wonder if we could put a worm gear straight onto a rack. I'm assuming we could, right? Because the worm gear would go right onto a rack and we could just make some stuff. Then of course we've got bevel gears, right? Your standard 90-degree transfer bevel gears, different sizes of course. Super useful. Lots of different transmissions use bevel gears. I have a couple of RC cars, Sakura D5 and a Sakura D5 Lite. Those are my 2 main drift cars. I also have a WPL D12 as well, which is a sort of like a K truck, a little Japanese truck that's been converted to a drift car. But the two Sakuras, they use a really cool transmission setup with a series of bevel gears and spur gears and crown gears and all sorts of fun stuff. So I might have to actually try and build that mechanism the way it is on the cars. The WPL just uses pretty much a straight drive transmission with like just a gear reduction off the motor. But the Sakuras use a really weird setup with multiple bevels. So it might be cool to try and set that up. Crown and pinion gears. So those are gears, you know, where this is your crown gear, obviously. Right? And it just, again, another way of transferring 90 degrees. You could also do some cool stuff with like this attached to a worm gear. I don't know what the combinations the game will let us do, but I feel like I could put a crown gear on a worm gear and it would work just fine. Anyway, and then finally we've got spur gears, which again are just your standard sort of, you know, straight gears, right? Anyway, needless to say, this game's the ultimate mechanical playground. Of course, I do have a degree in mechanical engineering. I love mechanical systems, and it's going to be really, really cool to build some nuts suspension setups in this game. What is that? There's a tack on the ground. So we're going to go into some of the tutorials. I mean, this one's pretty basic. Shows us, you know, the properties menu. Like I said, I did go through all the tutorials before. You can see we can actually have it set with like a button, right? And everything's automatically remote controlled by default, unless you connect this, you know, player has only control when seated. So it's kind of interesting. It's like the whole sandbox. You could have a series of hotkeys for all sorts of different stuff, and there's automatically like a remote control system for all that. Really, really cool how that works. But yeah, the game's got a really steep learning curve, which is why I kind of want to do the whole tutorial again, and of course show you guys all the different mechanisms that can be done. It's kind of reminds me a little bit of like Robocraft's building system, where everything is sort of, hold on a minute, I gotta unfreeze this and turn it on. There we go. But yeah, everything is scalable, everything is extendable, everything is movable, everything is pivotable, and it doesn't seem to care too much about building on a grid necessarily when you build. I mean, there is a grid, but you can make parts diagonal and all sorts of cool stuff, so it's kind of neat how that works. Anyway, how to build is pretty easy. Just like in Scrap Mechanic, we kind of have to freeze everything. So we freeze something, and then we can, you know, we can grab it, and we can move it. Oh, whoops, I gotta select it all, and then we can move it. And then we can drop it, and then we can unfreeze, right? Oh, whoops, I guess I need to listen to the instructions. It is above the orange plate. Yeah, see? Okay, perfect, awesome. So we just place this, right? Put the trolley down. Look at that, amazing, perfect. Of course, no one really cares. What we want to get into is actual building of gears and attaching parts. That's the really exciting part. So, you know, again, freeze everything, grab this part, move this up, and just kind of rotate this into position. There is like a bit of a snap tool that's kind of built in. So you can see, look, we snap right to that axle, which is kind of nice. And then we just click off it, and now it's attached. And then there we go. And of course we can, oh wait, no, we need to assign some keys to this. Forward key, sure, R, reverse key, F. That seems to be what they use by default. Turn it on. Look at that, it powers the system. So again, it's a little bit interesting to get used to the building system. Like I said, it does kind of remind me of Robocraft, but it's sort of like a combination of Robocraft and Scrap Mechanic. You've got like your tools, your manipulator tool, your builder tool, for example. We've also got a connection tool that comes up and a paint tool as well. And the building is all sort of live. Like you can see, we're building in the world as we do stuff. So it's not like we have a dedicated building area per se. We can just take any creation, freeze it, and start working on it, which is kind of cool. For example, they want us to grab this strap and remove it, so we can just do this, click there, and just grab this, drag it off. There we go, perfect. And then we have to attach this spur gear correctly. Where is it need a mesh? Oh, it just needs to mesh to that. Okay, so I can just grab this. There we go. And look at that. You've also got snap points on your axles. Again, kind of like the Robocraft system. And it shows you what it attaches to, which is super neat. And then we can just click that off. And there we go. And open up, again, the box. What's in the box? Well, there is a headlight in the box. The other thing, too, that I like about this game is kind of like Robocraft. You can see we can just take something and we can break its attachment points. So everything's got attachment points, right? Just like Robocraft does, you can see. So there was an attachment point there. Any blocks you put down are automatically attached to each other. But now I can take this whole thing and I can move it. And now that I've moved it, I can rotate it. And you'll notice we've got these two axles I guess they're axles. I don't know. These two axes here, we've got a gear. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're just going to slap it. Look at that. See, like that? And as soon as we do, it automatically creates holes in this block for the axles to go as like a through axle or whatever you want to call it. It's kind of awesome. And then all we got to do is just like in Robocraft, just got to, oh, no, I don't want to delete that. I got to actually switch this. There we go. To the correct, you know, attachment point style that we want. And now if we unfreeze it, look at that. They'll slide down that. So we never had holes there, but it automatically lets us create them. This is unbelievably powerful. To anybody who's worked with like Sandbox games and stuff, the fact that you could just drag a block onto an axle and then put a pivot point on it, when we're making, you know, vehicle suspension setups and double wishbones and all that, this is going to be a super useful behavior. Because we can just slap something. We could say, hey, instead of having this slide, like we could, I don't know, oh, I can't refreeze this because we've already beaten it. But we could take that attachment point and make that a swivel point. Doesn't have to be a sliding point. Could just be a rotating point. Could be rotating and sliding. Could be, you know, literally whatever we want without having to put down like some weird bearing setup or any of that nonsense. So it's really, really cool. There's essentially no bearings in this game. Everything is just a pivot point attached to something else. Like this gear is attached to this axle, and this axle has a free spinning pivot attached to this block. So really, really powerful building system. I'm really excited to actually start building full out creations because there's just so much we're gonna be able to do with this. All right, so now we got to attach this one. Yeah, we got to attach this beam to it. That's great. We got to scale the beam. How big? 13 units? No problem. Look at that. And then we just slap this onto, wait, what? Where am I going here? Oh, it's going to these two. Hold on a minute. I might have to grab a different point. So we can see, look at that. We can just grab a different pivot point. Done. And then this is going to need to be a pivot. And this needs to be a pivot. Why are you not free to move? Oh, that's right, because there's this attachment point. So what happens there is the beam attaches not only to the axle, but also to this block in behind. But we can just delete that attachment to the block in behind. And now, nothing happens? Hello? Oh, right. I have to assign keys to the piston that we've got here. So as you can see, that's our piston. It's a small little piston. It also means that we could probably make a piston engine somehow in this. I haven't really figured that one out yet, but like, once again, it's just wicked. The mechanical systems you can make in this is awesome. And look, that's like a cam and follower almost, right? Like you've got a follower that's getting pushed by a block. Yeah, which is like opening up a, you know, we could have it open up a valve. I don't know how strong the pistons are. I don't know if we're going to be able to make a true piston engine with sensors and stuff, but either way, definitely excited to try playing around with that. Mainly, I'm really excited to try and build full-out transmissions. All right, once again, setting stuff up. You can see, so we got to build some parts. Of course, we can build parts completely custom. It's kind of cool. So nice little sloped beam. And how big do we have to make this stupid thing? 7 by 3. Okay, interesting. Is it? There we go. Nope. Whoops. There we go. Perfect. And then I got to attach it to the axles. So like that. Am I missing another? Oh, wait, no, this has to go to the top 2 axles. Okay, hold on a minute. There we go. Rotate this 90 degrees. Grab this. I love the building. It is a confusing building system. Like I said, this is the second time I've played through the tutorial. Little complicated to get used to initially, and I think building super complicated creations is going to be even more complicated because obviously we've got to do all the scaling and all the rotation, and there's just a ton of little linkages that we could have that are going to be really, really hard to get set up, and you know, you're going to have to test all your mechanisms to make sure they have the movement that you want. But really, a really, really cool system. Hello? Oh, there we go. I got to power the... There we go. Perfect. Look at that. That's such a cool mechanism, too. We're pushing a piston out to actually lift up a box with 2 swivel points. Yeah, these are some cool mechanisms, I'm not gonna lie. There's some cool stuff we can do with this. Another cool mechanism, gotta clean it all up. Apparently these gears are in the wrong position, and we gotta fix it. I think this needs to be resized to attach to that. I don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I accidentally deleted a gear I wasn't supposed to according to the thing. And this needs to go onto that axle. So let's just grab, whoops, I want to grab the middle. Thank you. Let's go like this and rotate this into position and attach you to there. Perfect. You're meshed with the worm gear. Okay. And then I got to change this to be 7 units long. Yeah, okay. Well, we can, oh, god dang it. Okay, oh, you know what? Good thing there's an undo button. Amazing. I gotta duplicate this part and put it to the box door. Like that. Okay, but I gotta change these to rotation points. Like that. Are you guys rotation points? You're not, so that won't work. There we go. And I think we're good to go. And now I just rotate this. And that rotates our 90-degree bevel gear, which then rotates our worm gear, which then pulls on our spur gear, which then pulls this bar down, which then pulls that bar down, which then pulls this bar up. And we reveal the tire. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's literally the mechanical engineer's, like, perfect sandbox. Now we get to play with some pulleys, which is kind of exciting. We delete these gears. Nobody likes gears. Pulleys are always better. Everybody loves pulleys. And we'll just grab this and attach it to... I gotta always rotate first. I don't know if there's a way... I haven't figured this out yet. I don't know if there's a way to, like, avoid having to do this 90 rotation to slap a pulley onto something. Does this go on the big side? The small side? There we go, yeah. And then let's spawn the big pulley. Yeah, see, like, if I grab it from the middle here, I can't... It doesn't want to snap to the axle because it's not the right orientation. You have to obviously get it close enough. So I don't know if there's a way to spawn it 90, but either way. And then, of course, we just grab our pulleys, and we just link them together. And look at that, it automatically puts a belt. And now we can just rotate the one, and it rotates the other. It's so perfect. It's going to be great. I don't know if there's slip on the pulleys or not. I wonder if there is, or if they're automatically perfectly rigid. Because normally the issue with pulleys compared to a gear is that belts slip and gears don't, right? But I don't know if there's any slip calculated in this game or not. There's no properties on the pulley. It'd be interesting if there is slip, but either way, I mean, it's gonna let us do some cool stuff. And you guys saw back in the tutorial building there, we could have a pulley with like 12 different pulleys on it, and the game doesn't seem to care, which I just think is next level awesome. All right, full disclosure, this is the final setup, which I was never able to get right in the time that I tried this, so we're gonna try it now and see if we can make it work, but either way, we freeze this up, and then we gotta spawn ourselves a servo motor. And we got to attach our servo motor to that axle. So I think we got to attach it right from this point. No, hold on a minute. I got to rotate this a little bit first. Okay, we got to attach it to there, right? Yeah. And I think that's it. Then we click off it. And that should be attached, right? Like it's rotating. It's a fixed attachment there. But that's fixed. Should that be rotating on the axle? I think it does, right? Like that means it's rotating the axle point. I think that's what it does. All right, now we got to spawn some linkages, make this thing work. So I need an axle 4 units long. Okay, no problem. There's my 4-unit axle. We'll leave that there for now. I need a 2-hole linkage that's got to be rotated 90 degrees down. And then attach it to the back of that. Perfect. And then we attach the axle inside of, whoops, rotate this to position and then attach it to this point, like so. And then we spawn in our other plate. Gotta grab it and rotate it as well. Yeah, to this way. And it's gotta be 5 units long, like so. Once again, grab it in the middle, attach that, click off. Okay. We gotta change both these to be rotary. Okay, perfect. These ones are fixed. That's right, because this one is fixed on that axle. This axle spins, that rotates this up. This one, well, I guess it could be fixed or rotating. It doesn't really matter. It could spin or doesn't spin. As long as one of these spins, the axle could stay rotating with that. Okay, so this should be all good. And then we grab the linking tool and we link our servo motor to our battery power. And does our servo motor have settings? It doesn't. It needs a forward and reverse key. There we go. Let's do that. Okay, and we're linked up, right? Okay, so let's unfreeze the whole creation. And now we activate this. And now we rotate it? No. Oh, look at that. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I totally did this right this time. That's awesome. That's so great. Can I change the servo speed? I can. Oh, and I can do input smoothing. Oh, man, there's a lot of settings. Max angle, trim angle. What is trim angle? I mean, with RC stuff, it's really to account for, you know, the left and right when you're driving straight. So if you go to drive straight with any steering, with no steering attached, right, and it starts to drift slightly left or drift right, you can adjust it with your trim. I don't know if that's exactly what this is. Seems like it. Is that what? Oh, hold on. Let me trim it the other way. Yeah, it literally just, it adjusts it by 10 degrees. And then, oh, that's so cool. But only when it's active. Well, that's just awesome. And then, of course, we've got materials. So you can see here, if we pull out the material tool, we've got all sorts of different materials. They all seem to have a density and a strength. I don't know why they're all... Oh, no, they're not all strength 1,000. Okay, the steels are strength 1,000. Plastic strength 500. 500 on the wood. 800 on aluminum. 1,000 on carbon fiber with low weight. So, of course, we can... You know, the game calculates physics, right? We paint that with carbon fiber. We paint this with wood. The wood's... pretty much the same. Is the wood heavier than carbon fiber? Strength, density? Yeah, it is. Okay, perfect. Let's paint this with, like, aluminum. No, let's paint this with, steel? Oh, titanium is stronger than everything else. That's exciting. Steel. There we go. Steel. Perfect. Do I have a concrete? I don't have concrete, which is interesting. Steel seems to be the heaviest material we've got, which is kind of density of 0.8. 0.8. Nothing with a density of 1. But yeah, either way, we can play around with materials, obviously, and the game actually calculates, you know, good old physics and all that stuff. What's the lightest material? Carbon fiber? It's probably carbon fiber, right? Oh, this transparent plastic is super light, too. There we go. A couple of transparent plastics, then put some galvanized steel on this, and boom. Perfect. And then, of course, we've got the paint tool, which, like, you know... just like Scrap Mechanic, except we can pick any freaking color. Like, look at this. Look at, you want a color? Do you want a very specific puke colored green? Then look at that. We could have a nice, wonderful puke green and paint our board. So really, really cool stuff. I mean, it's just an awesome sandbox. Lots of cool things we can build. Haven't even gotten into the building yet. So the final part of this tutorial is to fix this go-kart, which we're gonna do 100% because, you know, obviously this go-kart needs some fixing. We got to put some wheels on it, some steering, and it's got a motor. It needs a gear. So we're going to fix that up. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. There are scenarios that we got to try as well in this game, which I'm assuming are going to work us into building more and more complicated things. For example, we could build a toilet flusher 5000, which if we rotate this, look at that. Yeah, you didn't expect that, did you? Yeah, freeze then unfreeze to reset. Oh, that's cool. Can I put the dude back in though? I don't know if I can put the dude back in the toilet. Anyway, either way, let's build this go-kart, get this thing working. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're just gonna freeze the chassis, and then we're gonna move it up. Kind of nice that we can just do that. Another thing I didn't mention, the whole game has destruction physics. If you run a car into a wall or you smash something, it will break, which is kind of cool. And individual parts will break off, which is super, super neat. Let's duplicate this tire. Spawning new parts is not allowed. Wait, what? So you're asking me to fix a go-kart, but you only gave me one tire? Where's my other tire? Are you serious? I can't spawn any new parts? I have one... There's one wheel. Hold on a minute. Do we have to steal the wheel from somewhere else? One of these challenges do open up. There's probably a wheel. Is it in this one? Does this one have another wheel? No, you have a gear. Okay, what about this one? I know there were more parts. You've got... I don't know what that is. Not a gear. Excuse me. That's a... Okay, this is this wheel. I can steal another one of those wheels, a smooth wheel. What about this one? Oh, I can't open you up anymore. Okay, well, no, these old boxes are all closed. All right, well, I guess that's the wheel we're using. I don't know where the other... Oh, no, there's another wheel here. Got it. Haha, perfect. Wanted another treaded tire. Interesting that the free build go-kart only has one... Oh, you're sitting in the picnic table. That's nice. We'll deal with you later. Yeah, there's only one wheel. I don't understand. It only gives me one extra wheel. And then it gives me an extra steering wheel. All right, so let's put these wheels on some axles. So this is going to go like this. I guess they're expecting you to do the tutorial first and get the rest of the parts. That looks good, right? Attach that axle. That axle has a free spinning joint there. It does. It's fixed to the wheel. Perfect. All right, get you. Attach you as well. Same deal. Rotate this. And get that done. Perfect. This is going to be an awesome game to build some complicated stuff. Like, it really is. I also saw on the website, actually, for this game that they've got full-out planes, and there was a spot that showed a plane with wings, so I'm assuming there's aerodynamics somehow, or there's at least an aerodynamic part, which is going to be super exciting. So we're going to be able to do some cool stuff with that. And really, is this all we need? We need wheels, check, rack and pinion, check. He gave us all this body panel stuff. Do I need the body panels? Like, I don't know if these calculate aerodynamics on their own or not. Like, what if I drop this from a really high height? Oh, let me unfreeze that. Oh, well, construction out of bounds. Okay, cool. It's got the good old scrap mechanic problem. Let's rotate this seat. Oh god, that's terrible. Okay, let's just put that, yeah, right up front. That's probably a good idea. Nobody's gonna have issues with that. There we go. Let's put you back there. Actually, you should be even further. You should be there. That looks better. All right, we need a gear. Little motor gear goes to probably something like this. Put that on the back axle. Then we're gonna have to set up all the programming for this thing. Is that's not big enough? Okay, need a bigger gear. There we go. Rotate. Perfect. Done. That's meshed. Yeah, this is going to be strong. It's going to be good. All right, and then we need to attach. Okay, that's already linked. The power is already set up. That's good. So we need to control this with T and G. Oh, TGFH is the driving setup, probably. T and G, max RPM, 1500. Sure, we'll try it at that for now. And let me guess, this is F and H? F and H. Okay. Yeah, the dev has, like, WASD for controlling your player, as well as, like, you know, E for interacting with some things, and so it kind of makes sense that you'd use TGFH as well. Is that really it? Like, I don't need any of these other parts, do I? Can I just spawn this and drive? How do I get in the seat? Oh my god, I just sit in the seat. All right, we can go third person. And we can go third person fixed cam. Oh, okay, so there's a third person orbit cam, and there's a third person chase cam. This thing looks pretty terrible. All right, TGFH, let's go. Let's go. Oh, wait, no, I have to turn something on, don't I? Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. We have no movement. Houston, we have no movement. Let me get out of the seat. Okay, how do I turn on the parts? Well, I have to turn them on manually. Okay, so now they're on. Oh my god, look at that, we're moving. Okay, this is fantastic. This is actually amazing. Oh, it drives like an RC car. That's great. That is actually great. So what I mean is if you hold forward, which is T, we need more weight on the front, by the way. Our front wheels aren't getting traction. But if I hold T and then I press G, rather than slamming it into reverse, it slams it into a brake first. And then I have to press G again to go backwards. That's how RC cars work. Like if you have, oh God, we flipped. Okay, we're fine. But yeah, that's how RC cars work if you have like high-end ones. When you hit reverse for the first time, they don't actually go full reverse. They go into a brake first and then they go forward, and then they go into reverse if you click it a second time. And it's actually really, really cool because it allows you to lock your rear tires, and then your rear tires will stay locked until you actually hit reverse a second time, which of course, like, you know, has some crazy benefit. This thing rolls a little bit. We can just go exploring though. Okay, let's hold on a minute. I wonder if there is a way to turn on these motors as soon as you get in the creation. Because if you have a buried motor, then you're going to kind of screw yourself over if you don't have access to get to that motor. There's got to be a way to do it, right? Look at that. Now we can turn without falling over. Unbelievable. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I mean, it's a wicked game. I definitely want to check out some of the scenarios first and see what they're all about before we get into too much of the sandbox. But, I mean, if there's wings and there's planes, there's going to be a lot of cool stuff that we can do, and a lot of cool creations we can build, especially with all the gearing and the transmissions and stuff. And are we stuck? No. Yeah, we are. Okay. I'm trying to explore a little bit here. I haven't actually checked out this map. It sounds like an RC car. That's the best part. It sounds like a really, really fast electric motor. We're just flying. Our steering does not exist. All right, I'm going to go hit a wall and see what happens. Let's see if we can just take out this guy at this table here. Yeah, no, that was not a problem. That was fantastic. Not hard enough to break anything though. Like, I need to run up on something and really hit something with some speed. Or maybe this island is invincible. It's hard to say. It's a tutorial island, so there might be a lot of invincible parts. It's really hard to tell if the destruction physics are turned on or not. probably, I would assume they're probably not, because, you know, being a tutorial island, the dev probably doesn't want us destroying everything everywhere. Yeah, I don't know if I can break anything. Oh no, that broke. Did that? Oh no, I just knocked it over. Yeah, no, I've caused some problems. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure, of course, you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know what you think of GearBlocks, and check it out on Steam. I'll put the link in the description. Really, really exciting. I mean, I saw some of the images of all the different mechanisms you could set up. And, like, I saw pictures of F1 cars with all the internals and all the suspension mechanisms. And, I mean, the limit of what you can build in this game is pretty much endless. I mean, it's going to be pretty exciting to try and build some complicated mechanical creations that actually work. And, of course, it's going to be really exciting if there's, like, planes as well and boats. I mean, I know there's planes. I saw the dev show some plane photos, but I don't know about boats. Let me know what other things you want to see built in GearBlocks. I mean, really, I've been waiting for a game like this that has proper gearing systems that lets us do all sorts of cool stuff. I mean, look, we got rack and pinion steering on the front of a little go-kart. You know, I mean, that's pretty cool. And the game is fully set up for us to do CP joints and make suspension and all that kind of fun stuff. So we're going to have to jump into some of the scenarios, see what they're all about, and then do some crazy sandbox builds and make some cool vehicles. And of course, there is full workshop support, so you can download stuff and check out other people's vehicles and all that jazz. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time. This cart needs a gear increase. It is not geared well. I'm pretty sure this whole map's invincible.